Hi, I'm David Penn, research analyst with Finovate. We're here at Finovate Spring in San Diego, and joining me is Bhoomika Ghosh. She is the Senior Tech Product Lead with Amazon Prime. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
I thought maybe to get us started, you could tell us just a little bit about yourself and the work that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a Senior Tech Product Lead at Amazon. I build AI-powered products for millions of customers across 24 countries who want to get the most out of their Prime membership. I've had 10 years of experience in the industry in different sectors such as consulting, consumer goods, and now onto product management in a tech giant. Outside of work, I'm really passionate to progress women in tech, and I'm a core member of Women in Tech and Leadership within Seattle, which is a small community of 600 women, and we're growing each year.
Very interesting. We're going to talk a little bit more about women in tech and women in finance in just a minute, but I want to talk a little bit more about the work that you're doing as product manager, particularly as it relates to AI. Mm-hmm. Could you talk to us a little bit about how AI has changed the way that product managers approach the work that they do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fascinating how AI has transformed so many industries and roles in the past year. I think what's been the most fascinating part of product management is that the ethos of product managers hasn't changed as much. We're still obsessed about solving problems for customers, and the how part of it is what has changed because of AI. I'm seeing an interesting dichotomy of two kinds of product roles that are affected because of AI. So one, I call them an AI-enhanced PM, who leverage AI to deliver experiences that customers hadn't ever imagined about. So let's take Netflix, for example. A product manager in Netflix is probably analyzing your viewing patterns and seeing what are you most likely to click the next and continue browsing. And they're using deep learning machine models to understand your patterns and have AI predict the next best outcome for you. While the other bucket of PMs are those who leverage AI as a productivity accelerator or almost as an efficiency booster. So there are so many tools today which can take automated meeting notes while you're in meetings. You have tools like Bolt and Cursor, which help you rapidly prototype products without you having to invest in dev teams to bring your vision to life. Or you even have products like ChatPRD, where you just put a couple of lines of the product you're envisioning, and it comes up with detailed user stories you can pass on to your developers. So that part is what I call AI superpowered PMs, because they're using AI to just be an efficiency booster. And by no means I mean to say you just take the output and run with it. You do need to have a huge intervention, because you as a product manager understand the context of the customer, the company, which AI is obviously not going to understand, but it still gives you a good starting point, which is at 30-40%, which takes you to 100, rather than you having to start from a 0%. So I think that's how I'm seeing it. And I don't think we get to go home early just because we have all of this in place. It just means that we free up more of our time and our bandwidth to be able to do high ambiguous, high value add tasks. Like I'm thinking about my next customer problem at that time. Or we're thinking about an AI consideration or biases that might have gone into my product, which I need to solve through human intuition. So I'm still using my time to do more highly ambiguous tasks, which AI cannot replace yet.
Interesting. You mentioned human intuition just a second ago, and that really segues into the next question I wanted to ask. And that has to do with the relationship between, or balancing the relationship between the power of AI and all of its capabilities with an important role of human intuition and human understanding that you hinted at just a moment ago. How do you make that balance work?
Yeah, and that's been one of like $1 million questions usually when we implement AI. I think AI's adoption has increased from 33% to 65% in just a year. It's almost doubled across businesses, consumers, and everyone else. But that's when it becomes more crucial to have human intuition. And as product managers, when you're building products for a future of tomorrow, you want to make sure that you understand what are the implications of this product and how are you safeguarding customer trust. So let's take an example. Say you were building a shopping recommendations app, which determines what you're going to shop next. And let's say we have a customer called Alina who's browsing baby products. It's very likely that the machine learning model might predict the next thing you add to your baby registry. But unfortunately, if Alina experienced a loss, I think that's not going to go very well. So these things are something that I don't think AI can call it a flaw, because AI did recommend the next best thing for the customer. But you as a product manager are going to understand your implications of product for real life customers on an everyday basis. How is the customer going to interface with your product on the best day and on the worst day? This is something that still requires a human product manager or human intervention and human in the loop throughout the process to be able to identify and refine, because we want to make sure that these products are efficient and powerful while they preserve customer trust for people like you and me at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's a really fascinating point, the idea that the product has to work for the customer on their best and their worst day, because you never know when the customer is going to encounter the product. That's incredible insight. Speaking of insights, what kind of advice would you provide to a company, particularly financial services, let's say, that's looking to get into deploying more AI-powered solutions, in terms of the things that they need to be concerned about? Are there things about leadership? Are there things about skills gaps, employee buy-in that's important? What would you say some of the suggestions you would give to them very much at the very beginning of the process?
Sure. I think this is a great question as well. The one thing that I've realized is that people are getting muddled with the buzzword of AI just because their competitors are in this game. They want to start implementing AI, agentic AI tools, chatbots, etc. And I think what comes back to me again is, how is this solving a customer problem? AI is not your solution. The customer problem is. And I'll tell you an anecdote, which I just spoke to a fintech startup just a couple minutes ago, where they were torn apart between implementing an AI chatbot to reduce their customer contacts. But when they started to understand the customer data behind those contacts, they realized that 50% of them were almost about getting real-time notifications of their transactions, etc. And rather than investing in the AI chatbot solution, they spent 6 months to build out a real-time alert notification from their app. It was not an AI solution, but it drastically reduced their customer contacts and improved their customer satisfaction. They eventually went on to implement AI solutions and an AI chatbot anyway, but I think the mental model of this implementation made sense, because they worked backwards of the customer problem, solved it, and used AI to further enhance that problem and solution, rather than starting with AI from the get-go. So I would say that leaders, especially in this space, would be the ones in the boardrooms questioning not how do you use AI, but rather what customer problem are you solving, and asking that question repeatedly to teams so that they get coached that we work backwards from the customer, not technology. Technology is a way to get to your means, but it's not going to be your solution.
Right, absolutely. Very, very interesting. I think maybe by way of wrapping up, you mentioned at the onset that you're quite involved with Women in Technology initiatives, really trying to help support women who are involved in technology. I wonder, you're going to be part of a panel a little bit later on talking about women in technology, women in fintech in particular. I'm wondering if there's any sort of general thoughts you have in terms of sort of the state of things right now, things you think are working, things that you think that need a lot more work. What do you really see the state of gender diversity in technology right now?
Absolutely. It's not in a great shape, I would say. With only 18% of women holding leadership roles, I think gender diversity needs to become more than just a table conversation. It has to be more actionable. And that's why I'd leave you with just one thought, that leaders should think about making this almost an equivalent of a business outcome. So let's say leaders who are in fintech, maybe they give a goal to each of their sub-heads or sub-leads, that you have to coach, let's say, 6 women in the next quarter to career advance and move ahead. And again, I don't mean to say that your career advancements have to be lofty actions. It can start off with very small increments, basically having a woman speak up in a meeting, or having her present the next time you think you're going to be talking. And it could be as lofty as giving maybe a woman a seat on the board because she deserves that promotion. So I think having an actionable business outcome assigned to gender diversity would be most helpful, so that folks are held more accountable to the actions rather than just talking about being gender diversity and treating it almost as a checkbox for your company.
Right, very interesting. I really like the idea of making a business objective, making a priority of the company as part of something that they do, just like anything else.
Exactly.
Fascinating. Well, thank you very much for spending a little bit of time with us. Very, very insightful. I'm looking forward to your participation in the panel later on today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And thank you.